Hey guys, welcome to Ask Auntie Nella Live. I'm gonna wait for you guys to log on, but while I'm waiting for you guys to log on, come on in the room, you guys. Come on in the room. I want you guys to share. Let people know that Auntie Nella is on live. Invite a friend, have a friend, invite a friend. And while you're doing that, I want you guys to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I get a lot of hits on Facebook Live, but I'm not getting a lot of people subscribing to my YouTube channel. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel and simply subscribe to it, because what's going to happen is in 2018 I'm going to transition everything over to YouTube. And so I want to make sure you guys are transitioning over there as well. 2018, I'll have some new things that'll be coming in. I'll have some toys that I'll be doing. I'll have some lotions. I'll be doing some different type of gift baskets when it comes to Valentine's Day. So we'll do a lot of, different stuff. I'll have some more t-shirts out. I still have my t-shirts if you guys are interested and would love to purchase. All you have to do is just inbox me. So I'll wait for some more of you guys to come on live. The other thing is, our topic tonight is going to be forgiveness after infidelity. This is a topic that I think is important, because a lot of times what happens is we say we forgive once our partner have hurt us or infidelity has happened with your spouse or your partner. So just make sure you tune into this one. Tune into it so we can discuss it, because I think this is going to be a topic for a ton of people to connect and understand, because a lot of times we say we forgive, but we're holding on to it, and holding on to it does not help us. If you say you forgive, you have to forgive and let go in order to move forward. So let's go ahead and jump into the topic. Anytime you or in a situation with your partner and you find out that your partner or your spouse have cheated on you, what you want to do is you want to take some time within yourself to try and think within yourself, is this something I can get past? You want to make sure it's something you can get past, because here's the thing: if it's something you can't get past, don't waste your time. Because all you're going to do is make you miserable and them miserable. Be honest with yourself and stand in your truth. If you know that you can't get past this infidelity, whatever it is, if you can't get past it, then you need to be honest and say, you know what, right now I can't get past it. Give me a chance to figure out what I'm going to do. Once you've decided that you've figured out what you're going to do, and you've decided, you know what, I want to save my relationship, I want to save my marriage, then at that point, what you need to do is make sure you're honest with yourself, and be honest to say, you know what, there's going to be some good days in this. There's going to be some good days. There's going to be some bad days. There's going to be some bumps in the roads. There's going to be some smooth highways. But you have to be honest with yourself. One of the things I want to say to you is allow yourself to feel hurt. Allow yourself to go through that emotion of being hurt. Because here's the thing. If you don't allow yourself to go through the emotion of being hurt, then you're setting yourself up. What you're doing is you're suppressing the pain. And suppressing the pain doesn't help anybody. So it's important to allow yourself to go through the hurt. Know what the hurt feels like. Because if you go through that, then you're going to understand as you go through the chapters in the process of, getting past the infidelity and getting past, forgiveness and saying, you know what, I'm going to forgive you wholeheartedly. The other thing I'm going to say is it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be afraid. You're human if you're afraid, because you're afraid of the unknown. You don't know. This is something that happened to you. You didn't know it was going to happen to you. So be okay, and be okay with the fact that you are afraid. It's okay to be afraid. Nothing's wrong with being, nothing's wrong with being a little scared or trying to figure out, what life's going to be like, what's going to happen. Nothing's wrong with that. That's a normal process anybody needs to go through. Learn within this process, after the infidelity have happened, Learn to nurture yourself. You want to make sure you nurture yourself. Pour into stuff that's important to you within yourself. I tell people this a lot. It's something that you should always do. You should always pour into yourself. But when you've been hurt and your mate or your spouse have cheated on you, it's important for you to start to step back and look at yourself and thanks to yourself. What is it that I'm missing? What is it that I need to do for me to make me happy? And not pour all of you into somebody else.
We have Melanie wrote, yes, go through the process, healing.
Yep.
We have, the hurt is the main course. Yes, ma'am, afraid indeed.
Yep. Always be, it's a normal process that you need to go through. Another thing I'm going to say is express your emotions. Don't ever be afraid to express your emotions. That's important because let me say this. It's important for the person, whether it's male or female, that hurt you. It's important for them to know your emotions and know that you were hurt. That's important. Don't jump steps and think, you know what, I'm fine, I'm gonna be okay. No, you need to go through the emotions, because I will say this, there will be one day you will be happy as hell. You will be happy, doing good. An hour or two later, you're mad, you're angry. You need to go through those emotions. And if that person is willing and truly sorry for cheating on you, if they're truly sorry for it, then they will be okay to understand it's a process that you have to go through for forgiveness.
We have a question. Melanie wrote, good. How about get into the place of trust again? How do you get there?
Trust is one of the things I always say to people too. If you're going to forgive, trust is important. Once you say to your partner or your spouse that you're willing to forgive them, you have to work with forgiveness and trust hand in hand, because you can't forgive and not trust. You can't trust and not forgive. It has to happen. The two works hand in hand, because if you try to walk through the process and not forgive but trust, it's not going to work. Or forgive and not trust, it won't work. You have to make sure. You have to connect within yourself and say, you know what? If I'm willing to give this a chance, then I have to trust them. Because if you don't trust them, you're going to send yourself through a million emotions that's not going to be healthy for you. You're going to send him or her through a million emotions that's not healthy for them. So just like you go through the process of forgiveness, you need to go through the process of trusting. You have to trust, but go through those emotions and be honest. Tell them, you know what? I'm trying really hard to trust you, but I'm nervous. I'm trying really hard to trust you, but I'm fearful. It's okay for you to have that type of feeling. It's normal. If you've been hurt and your spouse or your partner cheated on you, and you walking through this journey of, trying to forgive and you're not hurt, something's wrong. Something's wrong. There's a connection that's not there. You can't walk through a process and not be hurt. Because if you're hurt, then you love that person. You expected that person to give you their all. And when they didn't give you their all and you found out they gave some of their all to somebody else, it's human nature for you to be hurt. And so it's important when you're forgiven, you have to trust. The two has to go hand in hand. Forgive. Simply forgive. You have to forgive in order to move forward. There's no way around it. There is no jumping hoops. There's no way avoiding it. Forgive, 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 and be honest in what you're saying. Don't say it if you don't mean it.
Melanie wrote, we often hear, if you don't trust, then it won't work. Do you believe that?
110% I do. Because you can't have a relationship where you don't trust somebody. Just put yourself in the space of you're in a relationship and every time they decide to do something, or they're on the phone, or they're texting, or they're on the computer, you're stressing yourself out. I wonder if they're talking to, the person they cheated with me, with. I wonder if they're talking to another woman. I wonder if they're talking to another man, vice versa. You have to have trust. No relationship can survive without trust. I don't care who you are. You could be this millionaire. You can't survive a situation without trust. I don't care who you are. The other thing I'm going to share with you, trust the process. You have to trust the process. You have to go through the process to get to forgiveness and trust again. You can't go through this process without you can't get to forgiveness and trust without going through the process. You can't avoid it. There's no way around it. Set boundaries. This is one of the things I'm going to say that's key. It's important to set boundaries. And the reason why it's important to set boundaries because of this. Once your partner or your spouse have cheated on you, it's important for you to set boundaries to make sure it doesn't happen again. A lot of people may think like, well, oh, you're setting boundaries, but you know what? You're not allowing me to be who I am. Oh, but we have to set some boundaries. And it's important to set some boundaries because if you don't set boundaries, then you open yourself up for it to happen to you again. So setting some clear boundaries, letting them know that you're heard, letting them know here's the boundaries I'm setting. If you waver from these boundaries, then there's consequences.
Tanya wrote, I totally agree. You must forgive.
You have to. And a lot of times people have to understand when you forgive people. A lot of times people think when you're forgiving them, you're doing it for them. No, you're not. You're forgiving them for yourself. You're forgiving them for yourself, and it is important for you to forgive for yourself because when you're holding on to that, you're holding on to baggage that's unnecessary for you to hold on to. If you've made the decision, I'm forgiving, I'm moving forward, then you have to let that baggage go. Leave it, let it lay where it may. Let it go. That part is important.
Mia wrote, I agree.
Know that you have a choice. Know that you have a choice. Don't never think that if your partner or your spouse cheats on you, you don't have a choice. You have a choice. You need to make the decision and make sure your decision is clear and concise to the other person. You need to make sure if you're done with your marriage, if you're done with your relationship, be done. Don't play one day I'm okay with my marriage or my relationship, the next day I'm done. Don't play that game. Be honest with yourself. Take time. Don't just run. Another thing I want to share with you guys too. Don't make a decision on an impulse. And what that means by if your mate or your spouse have cheated on you and you're hurt by it, and you're like, I'm done, I can't deal with you no more. Don't make it by impulse. Take some time to think, decide what you want to do. That's why it's important to make sure you know your boundaries when you're in a relationship, before you get in a relationship. You know what you're going to take and what you're not going to take. Because I promise you, if you decide to set your boundaries while you're in that relationship, it's doomed to fail, and here's why. Your heart is involved, and you're in love. And once your heart is involved and you're in love, we're going to sidestep some things that we would normally sidestep. We're going to teeter-totter around the truth. We're going to take some hurt that we normally wouldn't take. But if you set your boundaries, you stick to your boundaries, then when it happens, you already know which direction you're going to go.
Tanya wrote, you can't allow your heart to become bitter. I'm telling you, bitter Betty.
Bitterness is the worst disease you could ever have. Because then what happens is you can't focus on the next relationship that God may have in store for you simply because you're bitter. Bitterness to me is a hate that you hold. And people don't realize that. When you're holding bitterness, you're trapping yourself to a past relationship that you can't and won't let go. That's why it's important to let bitterness go. Because bitterness is a disease that would eat away at you and eat away at you. And what will happen is you're consumed. I mean consumed with constantly thinking about, I want him or her to feel the hurt I felt. I want them to understand how I felt. It's not your job to make them feel that way. Trust me, you live in this world, it's going to come to pass. If you've hurt somebody or you cheated on somebody or you've done wrong to somebody, it'll come to pass. You may not, at the individual who's being hurt, may not get it. It may not come back and fall on their lap. But trust me, that person will relive it somewhere in their life. Maybe 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, a day. You never know. So that's why it's important to let that go. Don't hold on to bitterness because you're strapping yourself to a process that's totally unhealthy for you.
Let go and let God.
You have to. The other thing I'm going to say is when your partner or your spouse cheats on you, don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself. Don't ever let somebody come to you and spill that foolishness to you about, oh, well, the reason why I did it was because you did this, or the reason why I did it was because you didn't do this. They need to own their own wrongdoing. It's not your fault that they cheated. That's an act that they chose to do. You're not benefiting from it. You didn't gain anything from it. The only thing you gain from it, baby, is hurt and heartache. So don't ever let somebody else lay blame on you for their wrongdoing.
All right, we have a comment. I felt bitterness creeping in, trying to take over me. Mm-hmm. But baby, in 5 months, I pulled all the way back and cared for me. Yep. Tanya also wrote, now that is the truth.
That is the truth. You have to. You have to take some time to figure out. Because here's the thing. If you pull back from it and you take time to figure out who you are, what you've done, what caused it, it allows you to build an inner strength that you didn't realize that you had. And that inner strength, let me tell you something. That man or that woman can't come to you and spit bull to you because you already know bull when bull's coming your way. But if you're weakened, you're broken, you're hurt, you won't know it. You simply won't know it because you're so distracted with being weakened and broken and bitter that you can't get past it to see it. But once you take time to connect on you and build you and create your temple to be the strength that your temple needs to be, nobody can come to you and spit bull crap to you because you're going to see bull crap before bull crap comes your way. Nobody can come to you and put poo-poo on you because you're going to smell it before it gets to you. So it's important to take time to go through the process. The last thing I'm going to say to you is, when betrayal happens, when infidelity happens, when cheating happens, I will be honest with you. It breaks you down, and there's days that you feel like you can't move forward. There's days that you feel like you don't want to even get up. There's going to be days that you don't want to even have a conversation with a person. There's days that you're so deep in depression that you don't realize it because you're so broken. But what you have to do is take time, pray to God, ask God to allow you to get through this process. Once you get through that process of getting past that hurt, then other doors start to open. Then you start to work on you. The next thing you start to work on is forgiveness. The next thing you start to work on is trust. Allow yourself to go through the process and dig deep in them trenches, because going through the trenches will make you a stronger person, whether it's male or female.
Rosalind wrote, so true. Tila Walker wrote, you have to know your worth.
You have to. You have to know that at the end of the day, everything that happens to you, that's not the face value of who you are. That's not the core of who you are. The core of who you are is not what happens to you. And so a lot of people think that, you know what, he cheated on me, maybe I'm not worth it. No, boo-boo, don't go that route. Don't go that route. You're worth everything and more. And that's what's important. We as women, we take when hurt and cheat and betrayal happens to us, we take it as if it's something that we didn't do right, or it's something that, we didn't have or we didn't give. Often that's not the case. It solely has to do with the person who cheated on you. They made the choice. They made the decision. They made that decision to cheat on you. It's all on them. Do not own it. The other thing I'm going to share is, you can't go through the motions for your spouse. If your spouse have cheated on you, if your spouse have hurt you, and you've decided to move past forgiveness, he has to show that he wants you. Or she needs to show that she wants you. It's important for what you're saying out of your mouth. You need to show me. So you could tell me all day long, I really want this to work. I'm really trying. But you're not giving me 110%. You're not investing in me. You're not letting me know that I'm loved. You're not making me feel appreciated. So you could tell me that all day long. But until you show me, then I won't know anything different.
Actions speak louder than words.
110% it does. And that's what you want to look for. So when you're having a conversation with your spouse, whether it's male or female, and you guys are trying to figure stuff out, you guys have to have an adult conversation. You have to. One of the things you can't do is get into a conversation and you're bickering. I would say have a conversation with your spouse to try and figure out what drove him there. Now, you want to know what drove him there, but that doesn't mean what he's telling you that drove him there, you own it. It's not on you. He made the ultimate decision, or she made the ultimate decision to do it. So at the end of the day, you didn't gain anything from that. He gained something from it by doing it. And so at the end of the day, it's important to make sure you have an adult conversation, figure some stuff out. You have to ask the question, be blunt and direct. So you cheated on me. Do you want to move forward in this relationship or do you don't? Do you want to move forward in this marriage or you don't? If he's cheating on you and he's coming back to do it again, then you have to make some big decisions. Because you can't tell me you love me and you can't tell me you want to move forward with me, but you're going to do the same thing you did again. Boy, girl, bye.
We have Melanie wrote, yes, more than enough. Tanya wrote, actions. Melanie wrote, amen, put action into play. Tila wrote, never let someone show you twice that they don't want the relationship / marriage. Someone wrote, do more, say less, if not, keep it moving.
Absolutely. Exit to the left. You have to exit to the left because here's the thing. Why would I allow you? I've forgiven you. But why in the world would I allow you to come back and walk all over me again? I've been made a fool once. I forgave you. But I'm not going to continue to lie down and continue to allow you to walk all over me. Forgiveness is for both. When we sit down, even though your partner cheated on you, it's not just forgiveness for him. It's forgiveness for both parties. Because you have to be willing to forgive what he did to you. And he has to be willing to forgive himself what he did to you. Or herself what they did to you. So forgiveness goes both ways. If he's not showing you or she's not showing you, don't allow yourself to stay in a space that's unhealthy. Don't allow yourself to stay there. Don't play yourself. Don't do it.
What's that saying? Shame on me. First time, shame on me. Second time, shame on me.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm going to give you one chance to prove to me. If you do it to me again, I'm not giving you no second, third, fourth chance. I can deal. My boundary is this. I'm willing to give you a chance, but my boundaries are this. If you've slept with them, if you've done some intimate stuff with them, I can't move forward. That's just me. I can't. And the reason why I can't move forward, because I will have you in a space that you're miserable, and I'm in a space that I'm miserable. Because every chance I get, I know me, I will constantly jab at you. That's unhealthy. That's not healthy for either one of us. So why would I want to live my life unhealthy? Why would I want to live my life in a space that's not healthy for either one of us? I just have to be grown enough to say, you know what? That was my boundary. You hit my rock bottom. My rock bottom was exactly what you did, and I can't move forward. I can't forgive you for it. I can't. But then once I exit that relationship, I also have to allow myself to still forgive him. Don't mean I have to be in a relationship or a marriage with him, but I need to forgive him. And I need to forgive him for one important reason. To allow me to press through, to allow me to push forward, to allow me to be free. Because if I don't forgive him, then I'm locking myself in a marriage or a relationship that I'm tied to, and bitterness will creep in. So that piece of it is key to honestly make sure you allow yourself to forgive, whether you stay in that space, in that relationship or that marriage, or you decide to exit that marriage. The last thing that I will share, and we have another question.
We have some comments. Yes, that rock bottom ain't no joke. You have to allow yourself to heal.
You have to. That was the last thing. It's funny that somebody said that because that was the thing I was just going to touch on. You have to, in any relationship.
Forgiveness is for you, not for the other person. Come on now.
It's never for the other person. You have to forgive in order to heal yourself. But one of the things I want to say is, I know a lot of times with women, we take a lot of hurt and we beat ourselves up. We definitely tear ourselves down when we go through, hurt or betrayal or cheating. No matter what it is, we will beat ourselves up, because when it comes to us, we love hard, we love deep, we love quick. And so it's important that once you're out of that space, or once you decide to stay in a space and move forward and forgive, then you have to make sure you take time when you're going through this process for you. You have to take that time for you. You have to do I always say, an assessment of self. You have to take an assessment of yourself. And the reason why it's key for you to take an assessment of yourself is because sometimes, I'm not going to say sometimes, a lot of times what happens is when you're in a marriage for a long period of time or in a relationship for a long period of time, you tend to lose some pieces of you. And so when stuff like this happens, it sends a reset button that you can push to reset and allow yourself to re-energize yourself or recharge yourself. And so take that time to go through that process to recharge yourself. Recharge your inner strength. Tap into who you are. What are the things that you like? What are the things that you dislike? What is it that you want to do? You have to tap into you. Invest in you first. Because investing in you first is important, but it's also going to give you a clear mind, a clear understanding of which direction you want to go and which direction you need to go. Love you and everything that comes along with you.
The best revenge is to live a good life. Trust me, I know from experience.
Yep. The best revenge is absolutely that, because here's the thing. If you're walking around and you're bitter, and every time you see your spouse or your partner, you're spitting venom at them, you're rolling their eyes, you don't want to even speak to them, you don't want to do it. You know what their thought process is? Oh, she's still in love with me. Oh, he's still in love with me. That's what their process is, because you're investing so much time in a situation that you're no longer in. So why are you investing that time in? Let the chips fall and leave them chips where they at. Don't pick them up. Don't hold on to that bitterness. Don't hold on to that unnecessary baggage that's unhealthy to you. But the best revenge is, baby, when you glowing, when you happy, when you content, when they don't realize, Lord, how in the world she walking around here glowing, and I broke her down to her core. How in the world she doing it?
Speak.
I will tell you, that will be the time that person will come to you and say, you know what? I wronged you.
You know what you doing?
I apologize. I wronged you. I'm sorry. Because then what happens is they start to feel guilty. But if you put yourself in a space where you're just gonna lay in unhealthiness, you're gonna lay in bitterness, you're gonna lay in not forgiveness, you're gonna lay in all of that, then you're creating a bed that's gonna burn the hell up out of you.
Come through, Ma. Say that again.
You just gonna live in a bed that's gonna burn the hell up out of you, which is not healthy. You gonna need the fire truck to come put the fire out from underneath your bed, because it's gonna be on fire. It's not a good space to stay in. Just think about, I want you to think about this with bitterness. And this is a far-fetched analogy, but I want you to think about it this way. You're bitter. You're walking around here always bitter. You're thirsty. But every time you think you're taking a cup of water, or you taking a sip of water, you throwing fire down your throat. Every time you think, I'm throwing fire, I'm drinking water, but I'm throwing fire down my throat. So all you're doing is you're spitting out fire. Who wants to be around somebody in that space? Who wants to be? And what happens is you start to lose focus on what's key to you. And what you lose focus on is you as the individual who needs it. You lose your friends. You lose who you are. You lose your job because you're so focused on getting back at the person. You're not focusing on you, who's important to the whole situation.
We have some comments. We have Rosalind wrote self first. Tanya wrote preach. Melanie wrote time.
Yep. And one thing I will say too is, a lot of times what happens is we think that, this hurt is going to happen always. Hurt doesn't happen all day, always. The sun will come out tomorrow. All you have to do is trust the process, go through the process, and I promise you, you'll look back and think, wow, everything I've been through in my life, I never thought not one time that I could look back on there and say, I made it. I made it. That's the best feeling in the world, is me to say, I made it. I've been hurt. I've been broken. I've been beaten. I've been stepped on. I've been talked about. I've been all them things. But what I'm not going to be is a flow mat for you to think you going to just come to me and walk all over me, and I'm supposed to be dizzy Nancy and be like, okay, I still love you. No, I love me more than I love you to allow you to hurt me. I love me more than enough to know that I'm important to me. I love me more than enough to know that I need to put on my gloves and fight for me. I don't need to fight for nobody else. I need to fight for me. Now, while I'm fighting for me, if you want to come along on this journey and do right by me, baby, you're welcome. But what you won't do is, you won't come on this journey and break me down. What you won't do is, you won't come on this journey and take away from me. What you won't do on this journey is you won't come along and talk about me. What you won't do on this journey is you won't come along and bash me and beat me down. That's what you won't do.
We have Melanie wrote, wow, this is powerful. Reset your focus. Lisa wrote, bitterness is a slow killer. It drains the life out of you.
It kills you.
Tanya wrote, yes, indeed. Melanie wrote, no floor mat. Hell, I love me more than ever.
Correct.
Fight for my mind.
Correct. You have to fight for your space. You have to fight for the space to be healthy. You have to fight for who you are. Because here's the thing. If you don't fight for who you are, if you don't do that, then what happens is you allow somebody else to create your identity. Don't allow somebody else to create your blueprint. Don't allow somebody else to create who you are. Don't allow somebody to take charge of your life. Take charge of your life. 2018 is coming in. What I want to say to a lot of women is, and men, I want you guys to take some time. If 2017, you didn't find your Mr. Right, 2016, 2015, you still haven't found who you're looking for.
What you trying to say?
What you need to do is, you need to click that reset button and start to sow into you. Because if you don't sow into you and you don't figure out why you haven't moved to the next step, it's because you're putting out a sin out there that's continuing to get what you're getting. So if you're finding a man that's unhealthy to you and you're continuing to get a man that's going to beat you down, that's going to make you feel, less than a woman you are, less than a man you are, you're only doing that because you haven't taken the time to sow into you.
Mia wrote, come through with the truth, man. Rhonda wrote, wow. Lisa wrote, the process is how you heal. It helps you grow and strengthen you as an individual.
It does.
Tanya wrote, you have to speak words of affirmation over your life.
You do.
Proportion? Minor setback for a major comeback.
Yes. You have to. You're going to have a setback, but trust me, when your comeback comes, baby, when I tell you, look back on that comeback coming, you look back, you're like, Lord, I would have never thought I would have made it. I would have never thought I would have made it. The other thing I will say is, when you're going through something where there's cheating or infidelity or hurt or anything, you have to find time to make sure, and this is something people should always be doing, have to connect with God. You can't get through this process with just your friends. You can't get through this process with just your mate that's saying he's going to do right by you. You can't get through this process alone. You have to make sure you're asking God, allow me to be able to push through this. Allow me to get past through this. I know it's hurt. I know that hurt is out there. But allow me to be able to push through, to know there's a healthier me out there waiting for me. There's a healthy me out there waiting.
Melanie wrote, yes, don't allow others to validate your life or your purpose for you.
Nope.
Tanya wrote, yes.
You have to. If you don't validate you, then how did you expect anybody else to validate you? You have to sow into you. 2018, change your mindset. Click that reset button. Make sure you're taking time for you. I'm going to close on this, and I'm going to say this to you guys. Go through the process. Fight through the process. Challenge yourself. Know that there's going to be a day where it's foggy. Know that there's going to be a clear day. Know that there's going to be a rainy day. Know that there's going to be some days you can't even figure it out. But what you do need to know is you need to trust the process, that in the end, the process is going to turn out for your good. Because if you trust that process, I promise you that process will turn out for your good. It will benefit you. Sow into you, and don't sow into anybody else until you sow into your own self. It's important. It's important. Love you with everything that you got. Don't let go. Love all of you. Whether it's good, bad, or ugly. Love you.
Tanya wrote, you have to trust God. Lisa wrote, yes, connect with God first and foremost in order to get through everything. God first. This is good.
Yep. God has to be first. When you walk down the aisle and you decide to get married, and your pastor is telling you your vows, your pastor will tell you it's between you, your husband, and God. He don't say between you, your husband, the next best friend, the neighbor. He don't say that. You, your husband, and God. Make your decisions. It's okay for you to talk to somebody and share, hey, here's what I'm struggling with. But you still need to trust in God and know that, at the end of the day, He's the one that's going to get you to where you need to be. And when you look back, baby, you're going to have a glory praise. You're going to have a praise now no one can touch you and tell you different. Your praise is going to be your praise. Your testimony is going to be your testimony. So at the end of the day, sow into you, love you, and be happy whichever direction you decide to go. Trust the process.
With closing, we have 2 comments. Tila wrote, don't be disloyal to dysfunction. Life is a party. Just don't wait for the invite.
Yep.
In the end, you will win.
Yep, you will win. All right. Thanks so much, you guys. I appreciate you guys, coming in and tuning in and taking a little time out your night to connect with me. Before I get off, show me some love, send me some hearts my way. Don't forget to share my post. Share my post, like my post. I do get a lot of people that view them, but I want you guys to like them as well while you're viewing them. Invite some friends from your friend list. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Ask Auntie Nella on YouTube, and subscribe to it because, like I said, 2018, moving forward to YouTube. And lastly, I will be coming on this week to let you guys know from our first show that we did. I'll be letting you guys know what channels it'll be on cable. I will also let you guys know what time to tune in and what day to tune in that it'll be on there. For all my followers that's out of state, we didn't forget about you guys. Once we get all the details, whatever time it comes on, you can go onto the website and you'll be able to stream it live at the time that it shows actually on the cable channels. So don't forget to tune in. We also have Woman to Woman meets Ask Auntie Nella out there. We doing this thing. We trying to empower some women and let you guys know, and men too, trying to empower you guys to let you guys know if you're not happy in a space, find some way to make yourself happy. And if you can't move on, pray on it. And with that said, don't forget to love you.
Tanya wrote, love you. Melanie wrote, in the process, but I am making it easy to just come back. It may look like I'm being stubborn or hard, but all the hell I've been through. All the hell I've been through in this, I refuse to come in this like nothing never happened. Tanya wrote, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, we all matter. You guys catch her on Ask Auntie Nella After Dark in about 5 minutes here. So return, you guys.
Yeah, please return. We're going to be doing sexing. So texting for After Dark. So make sure you tune into that as well. Thanks you guys. I appreciate you guys a ton.